I'm a huge fan of Bokashi composting. I think the biggest reason is because of the fact that it doesn't smell. It's done in such a sealed, contained environment. This is a good option. Like if you live in an apartment complex, you could do this in your kitchen in your apartment. I do this out here in my screen printing shop, or my garage converted into a screen printing shop. And it's just a super easy, practical, sustainable way to take your waste, your food scraps, organic material, and convert them into plant food. This differs from traditional composting in the fact that you can add meat, you can add bones, cheese, yogurt, all that type of stuff can go in here and be broken down in 2 weeks' time and ready to add to your soil. Now, once you add it to your soil, you do have to wait another 2 weeks because this stuff is super acidic. So the pH of the soil around this stuff is going to be so low that if you were to plant in it right away, it's going to burn and probably kill your plants. So keep that in mind. But still, even with that, it's only a 1 month long process to get some bacterial rich compost into your soil and available to your plants, as opposed to how long it would take if you were doing a traditional thermophilic or hot compost pile, which I have trouble doing because I live in a tract home and I don't really have a whole lot of room for some gigantic pile in my backyard. I'm sure that the neighbors probably wouldn't appreciate the pests and the rats and the things that come with that, potentially anyways. I know that there's ways around that, but this is just my preferred method, and I think it's a great option for those of us who don't have a lot of space or who don't want to have to deal with a huge compost pile. I've been using Bokashi from SD Microbes for a few years. I love this company. I love what they stand for. I love what they do. They're great people. They care about the earth. They care about the environment. Every purchase you make plants a tree. They try to do all their packaging and everything as sustainable and compostable as possible. I could compost everything, this tag, this jute string, the burlap. They do have to put the Bokashi in plastic so that it's not exposed to oxygen and stuff, but it's a pretty minimal footprint. Other than that, they're a great company. And with that said, I want to plug my coupon code now, and I do get a commission from this, but I honestly do love these guys and I stand behind them 100%. So I do have a code for you if you want to order some. It's AF Podcast, and you can use that at checkout to save yourself, I believe it's 10%. And I think their website is sdmicrobeworks.com. I'll put a link in the description to be sure, but check it out and pick some up when you get a chance and try this out and see how you like it. There's also other ways that this stuff could be used. I've used this in the black tank of my RV trailer. As gross as that sounds, it does eliminate the odors, and on top of that, it helps break down the organic waste that's in there, or organic waste like my poop. But it does help break it down and just makes it that much easier when I dump it at the dump station at the end of a camping trip. I top dress my soil with this stuff sometimes. It just adds microbial life into the soil to unlock nutrients that other microbes might not be able to unlock, and makes them available to the plant. I've also used this to eliminate odors in my kitchen sink. You can even sprinkle some of this stuff like in your cat litter box if you've got a cat, just to help break that stuff down, but to also eliminate the odors. It's really amazing stuff. So if you get a chance, get yourself some and try it out for yourself and see what you think. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a thin layer of Bokashi at the bottom of the bucket, and then I'm gonna layer it like a lasagna. There's gonna be Bokashi, and then I'm gonna put food scraps or organic material, sprinkle more Bokashi, more food scraps, more Bokashi, so on and so forth until it's filled up, and then we'll let it sit for 2 weeks. Now that's what I do. If you've got enough to just fill up a whole bucket and seal it off, it'll be done in 2 weeks' time. For me, I'll start it and I'll continue to add to it for about a week before I seal it off and let it sit for 2 weeks completely. So it's important to try and not open it if you don't have to. I do pop the lid and obviously when I need to add stuff to it. But once I seal it off and I start the clock on my 2 weeks time, I just keep it sealed. I don't check on it. I don't do anything like that. I just leave it and it will be done in 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and get started. This is what it looks like here. It's just spent beer grains, so we're just gonna sprinkle some of that in the bottom here, like so. And then I've got some food scraps to start it off here. I've got coffee filter, tea bags, some cut off top of the strawberries that we ate. I'm just gonna start adding this stuff all in here. Some more coffee grounds. I got a bunch of eggshells, good source of calcium. I'll just kind of crush them up like that and add them in there. And I've got a couple of rotting bananas. Throw those in there. You can cut these up if you want to make more surface area, but you just don't have to. So once I got a couple of inches in there like this, I'll just kind of sprinkle some more on top, just like that. You don't need a whole lot. I've also got my potatoes and my leaf mold soil from the last video I did where I made Jadam microbial solution. We'll go ahead and add both of these in here as well. And I've got some trimmings from one of my outdoor potted plants. I'll go ahead and chop this up because it's so big. I actually normally would have chopped up that banana too, but I was filming with my other hand, so. And then I'll smash this stuff down with my fist to kind of flatten it out and get the air out. If you don't like touching all this stuff, then you can use like a plate or something like that. And then of course another small handful of Bokashi. So this small 2-gallon bucket's already almost halfway full. So we'll seal this off. I can let this just sit for 2 weeks and be done and go bury it, or I can open this up and keep adding to it. And that's so it. After 2 weeks, this is what it will look like. So this is ready to go. That white blooming fuzzy stuff that you see is totally okay. That's just the microbes blooming out and stuff. Everything in here is broken down and fermented. So I've got banana tree leaves, stems, carrots, eggshells, spinach. There's bell peppers down there. There's plant material down there from some weeds and stuff that I pulled outside. Just all kinds of stuff in here. And it doesn't smell bad at all, even though it looks like it would. I've got my face hovering right over it right now, and it just smells just kind of pickly and fermented. And so this is ready to bury into the soil, or you can add this to your hot compost pile, and it'll just break down super quick. You can also feed this to your livestock animals and chickens and stuff like that. It's super healthy and beneficial for their gut health. Think like live active cultures when you purchase yogurt. This is the same thing. So it's super beneficial and healthy for animals. I'm gonna actually go bury this stuff and wait 2 weeks and then plant some vegetables and stuff in it. So I'm gonna go document that in a different video. I wanted to make this one just to get it going and show you guys an option that you can use. A really quick, easy way to compost your food scraps without smell, without turning a pile, without all the hassle, without all the pests. Now this is going to be bacterial dominant, just like a traditional compost pile would be. For my fungal dominant compost, I've got a Johnson Sioux bioreactor outside, and I'm going to do another video on that as well. So I hope this helps. I hope you guys try this out, and if you do, let me know how it goes. And if you already use Bokashi, then leave a comment and let me know what you do differently, maybe some tips and tricks that I'm missing out on, just to help the community out. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys.